We're here to discuss you. On this wonderful June day, I'm here to ask you a bunch of questions, Dad, because you have led an incredibly unique, unbelievably interesting life. And I've heard that lately you've been working on a book, and I'd like a sneak preview. So since I've been hearing all your stories all my life, and have always been very wowed by them, I think it's time to put this together in a little bit of a film and just get a sense of the book that you're writing and a little bit of history about you. So let's start with you. Introduce yourself. Say your name on camera.
Reuven Rashkovsky, your father.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Dad. Now my next question, well, my first question after saying your name would be, where were you born? When were you born? And what is one significant thing you'd like to share about your birth? Something interesting.
I was born just after Second World War, November 1945. My father was in occupation army in Berlin. He was injured in 1942 heavily, and all his family was taken to the east of Russia, Uzbekistan. So he was in hospital for a few years, and after rehabilitation, just a few months before end of the war, he returned to his army position. So I was born shortly after that. So that's it. And my first steps in life, real steps, physical steps, I made in Berlin, 1945, 46.
So you lived in Berlin, Germany when you were an infant?
When I was a few months old, till about a year and a half.
And then where did you move?
Then we moved back to Russia because army completed its duty, its service there, and my father was sent back to Russia. And we ended up back in Odessa, Black Sea. He worked there a little bit. Then they sent him into a little city. Not so little, but city, 40 kilometers south of Odessa, Belgrade-Ostrovsky, Ackerman. And this is where I actually grew.
So you grew up 40 kilometers outside of Odessa. Tell us about life as a child. Let's say some significant memories you have of what it was like growing up at that time, in that place, when you were young.
So I do have memory of city completely bombed during the Second World War. And people lived in caves left after huge bomb fall down. I remember that we were lacking food. Okay, big lineups to buy bread. Parents had to go to work, both of my parents. And suddenly our family grew one by one, my sisters and another brother, and I have to take care after all of them.
So how many siblings did you have?
4. I'm the eldest.
And where did you live? What was your home like?
Catastrophical.
Okay, tell us about the catastrophical home.
Because there was lack of apartments in the city. The city was bombed. So government put us into same apartment with another family. So we lived like 2 rooms. We lived in the entrance room, and they lived behind it. So when they would come home, they had to go through us.
Mm-hmm. So no privacy?
No.
So how many people would you say were there in total in this 2-room apartment?
There were 2, mother and son. Mm-hmm. And we were at that time, my mom, 4 of us already. Uh-huh. And then 5th joined us.
Uh-huh. Well, we have 4, there were 4
Mother, father,
yeah,
me, my sister Hannah, and then my brother Fima, Chaim.
And did you have a bathroom in this place? And a kitchen and all that stuff?
Bathroom was not a thing in the city. Everything was outhouses until they built some modern houses. The city was very old.
Okay.
And we lived in a house that built by Romanian or Turkish guys 100 years ago. So
no running water?
No running water, no no toilet. So you can imagine.
So what was it like being a child? What was your day-to-day life like?
Look, I do remember only good things. Running to the marketplace, carrying watermelons home for somebody else and getting piece of it. Lining up for bread when my parents were at work. Later on, going into kindergarten, okay, and start eating normally, a little bit better than.
What changed that you were able to eat better later? What changed that you were able to have more food into your family?
Two parents worked, and we barely went by every month. So whenever we needed something extra, we had to go to grandmother and borrow something there.
And that was your dad's mom or your mom's mom?
My dad's mom. All my mother's relatives were gone during Second World War. They all perished in Odessa. So what I remember is really all people lived poorly. Okay. But step by step, things start improving.